I'm originally from Westchester, PA, and I'm here representing the Council of Presidents Executive Board, which is basically made up of one representative from the senior, junior, and sophomore classes. So I'm the junior vice president, and Tara Judge is the senior vice president. Sorry, I think I froze. So I'll repeat that. I'm the junior vice president, and Tara Judge is the senior vice president, and Sophia Morales is the sophomore vice president. And basically what we do, as Brenda said, is we work with all the presidents of each of the VSB student business societies, and we foster a lot of coordination and collaboration among all the business societies. And throughout the year, the Council of Presidents will work with the O'Donnell Center of Professional Development to strengthen more society involvement within VSB and ultimately increase VSB's visibility outside of the School of Business. So if you're a sophomore or older, you may have seen us hold the waffle fundraiser for Nova Dance in Bartley, which always gets a really cool turnout. And so we're here basically as a resource for you if you guys need any help or have any questions. So feel free to reach out to me, to Tara, Sophia, or Michelle, or Brenda at any time. So with that, I want to pass it over to Dan and Lindsay from the Instructional Student Golf Society.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay. I'm a senior finance and accounting major from Long Island, New York.
Hey guys, I'm Dan. I am a senior finance and econ major from Long Island.
So I'm going to quickly share my screen and quickly go through a little presentation. Let's see if this works. Can you see the slideshow? Perfect. So a little bit about ISGS. I will make this big statement first. You do not need to know how to play golf to come, and if you do know how to play golf, you're still welcome. So to kick it off, ISGS aims to offer students without prior knowledge or proficient golfers the opportunity to learn or find skills necessary to conduct business on the golf course. So this club was founded not that long ago actually, and the whole purpose of it was to teach students how to play golf so that they're no longer just stuck in the office. So I know personally between my sophomore and junior year, I had an internship and I was able to go out and play with my boss because I actually knew how to play golf, while some other interns in the office did not have that opportunity. So we were trying to get students off campus into some of the best golf courses in the country and get taught by professionals how to play so you can have that experience in your internships.
Yeah, and just to add to that, one of the key selling points of the club is that if you're playing with clients or like a business partner, there's no other time where you're going to get like 3 or 4 hours alone with a business partner or a client. It's a really like valuable experience to play golf with somebody. And a lot of times people who are great business people and have a great product or a great service, they struggle on the golf course and it kind of affects the way that they're talking to the clients. So our goal is kind of to teach other people like the etiquette of golf as well as like basic teaching so that you're not really worried about golf and you can feel confident, especially if it's in a business environment.
So these are a few of the courses we've gone to in the past. It's mostly country clubs in the area. So as I like to say, it's an excuse to get out on great courses in the area that you might not usually get to play on because they're for members only. And we do work with the PGA. So our classes are taught by professionals who are PGA certified. So they know what they're talking about. You don't need your own clubs. If you do want to bring your own clubs, it usually starts off after spring break. So you can so we have some time till when we get started. We were debating doing a fall semester this year, but with everything going on, we decided it's best to wait till the spring. So lessons will start up after spring break. So if you don't have your clubs here, you could bring them back after winter break or bring them back in the spring. After spring break, it's up to you, but you do not need them. The courses will supply clubs if that's what you need. Even if you're lefty, any special things you have, they have the clubs for you. Every year we try and do at the end of the year either a networking event. So I know my freshman year we had an event where we did a 9-hole scramble with alumni. So they set each student up with an alumni and we went out and played around with them and then had a night networking event after. Those are things that kind of come up to the end of the year. So they're not set in stone, but there will be around 5 lessons that you would take place going through your long game, how to putt, different etiquette courses. It's 5 weeks long, and then usually at the end of it, we'll have some sort of wrap-up session, whether it be playing out on the course or networking with alum. If Dan doesn't have anything to add, we could open up for questions.
I just want to add a few things. So generally, like the format of how the season goes is there's going to be, I believe it's normally 4 group sessions on like Wednesdays, usually like late afternoon, and they're going to be group lessons at one of the country clubs that we're partnering with. And historically, the business school has covered about like 50% of the cost. So for like 4 lessons, you would only need to pay, I think last year or 2 years ago, it was $60 or $50, which is like a very good rate for 4 group golf lessons. That's per person. So it's just like a really good opportunity. And we're going to take the roster from this meeting and send you guys all an email in the winter, because hopefully clubs are a little more lenient about like having guests on the property in the spring. And that's when we can get started. And we'll have like another follow-up meeting with the people in here and our past members too.
Great, thanks Lindsay and Dan. Again, if you think of questions that you'd like to ask about the Golf Society, don't hesitate to pop them into the chat and we'll make sure that Dan and Lindsay are able to answer them. All right, so now we are going to shift gears and go to the VSB Book Club. Will Hosbein and Jed Dowler are 2 for 1. They're going to both join us on the same screen today. So go ahead, guys.
Hi, I'm William Hosbein. I'm a senior in the Villanova Business, or in the Villanova Business School, studying finance and real estate.
And I'm Jed Dowler. I'm also studying finance and real estate. The business school are both seniors, and we're the co-founders of the book club.
Yeah, so we started the club last semester, and we really collaborated with Dean German to kind of kick it off. And we started just because we've always enjoyed like reading business books, and we thought, you know, I'm sure there's other kids out there that like to read business books too, and you know, why not try and make something sort of concrete out of it by starting a club. And we did. And our first book last semester was the Steve Schwarzman biography called What It Takes. And Dean German agreed with us last semester to get 30 copies. So last semester we got 30 copies and distributed them in the exchange, or no, in the what's the office called? In the Clay Center. And they were gone in a day. So we were really happy with that, to see that, you know, right away the club got a ton of traction. And then during COVID, we actually had a Zoom discussion about the book, which was really exciting. And then this semester, Jed's going to touch on what book we'll be reading this semester.
So this fall, the book is Too Big to Fail by Andrew Ross Sorkin, which is about the 2008 financial crisis and the collapse of Lehman Brothers. Talks about it from the perspective of Washington, D.C. and financial regulators. This is a huge topic that comes up in pretty much all of our classes, at least mention it, and like comes up especially in finance and equities classes. Real estate as well. And so we figured out that about 60% of Villanova Business School students are finance majors. So this is a very relevant topic, and doesn't really matter what book it is, like just reading business books in general, it's like a great way to prepare for any interviews you have and for anecdotes. And then again, in classes, it always comes up. And we just feel like it's great to have that perspective of what the last recession was like, because now we're in a recession again, obviously. And it's good to compare the differences and see how things happened then and then how they're playing out today and the different factors behind them.
Yeah, just going off of that, if you're going to work in finance, you should be able to sort of at least speak at an arm's length about like who the major players were regarding like some of the figures in it, and who the major players were regarding some of the companies, because they always come up in interviews and just like an internship, topics like that will always come up. So you should be able to talk about that. And then just keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in joining the club. Keep your eyes peeled from an email from Dean German. She's gonna blast out an email to all the students in the business school with information about where you can pick up the next book and sort of a forum to sign up with, so you can actually join the club. And the first 60 members to join the club will get a free copy of the book, which Jed and I will be handing out probably the week of the 21st in the exchange. So we'll be happy to talk to you there and give you a free copy of the book. And if there's some serious demand, we're probably going to order more books. So,
But it's not just a free book. There's a catch too. You got to participate in the discussion at the end of the semester.
yeah, so that's the whole point of like actually having people sign up, because during the discussion we had last semester, I think we had like 12 or 15 students join, and we'd love to have like a huge crowd like we do right now.
And then if you don't like this particular book for the fall, Too Big to Fail, I encourage you to pick it up anyway and stick with it, because like through the variety of books we plan on reading, you can really open your mind up to different topics that you wouldn't otherwise be exposed to. So last semester was Steve Schwartzman's book, obviously, which is more like private equity and real estate focused. This is more like finance and Wall Street focused, and more about like regulation. And then like once we build up the club a little bit more, and we'd love to hear input from you guys too, and maybe we can do like a vote for the spring semester's book and stuff.
Right.
And we really want to know what you guys are interested in reading too, and we can come up with that kind of in a collaborative way. So stick with us and you'll learn a lot.
And then just another way we sort of want to build engagement is that every day, sort of starting probably the week of the 21st, is that Jed and I are going to be sending out one article from the Wall Street Journal at around 5 p.m. every day. And it's just an article that we think everyone should have just checked out that day. So like reading about business shouldn't just sort of, it shouldn't really have boundaries. It should just stop at like reading a book. We have access to like so many good data sources as Villanova Business School students that we feel like everyone should be reading the Wall Street Journal. I think we have access to the New York Times, the Financial Times. So we'll be sending out an article that we think everyone should just sort of get their eyes on that day. That'll build engagement. We're excited for that.
Dean German, anything you want to add to the book club?
Just quickly, so I am not a finance person. Last spring's book was about finance, as the guy said, about private equity. Truth be told, I was a little concerned about this book also being focused on finance. I've started it. It's a significant number of pages to the book. I would say I'm about a third of the way through. It is fascinating. You don't have to be a finance major. You don't have to be interested in finance, but I would say all the different players and the behind the scenes conversations and meetings
Right.
on was, beyond fascinating in terms of the interactions of all these different folks. So I'm glad there's a couple of pages in the front that has the list of all the different players.
Right. It's cool how they do that. I actually started the book
Yes.
as well. And Dean German, would you agree that it reads much more like a story than like a textbook?
Oh, it's not a textbook at all.
Yeah, at all. Which I just want to
Yeah.
preface that it reads like
Yes.
a story, which is really exciting and kind of unique for a finance book.
Yes, and it was similar. Yes, it definitely reads, it's more like a novel, if you will. And some of the things, it's hard to believe that they really happened and that they're really true.
Right.
But it is a good read. So I don't want anybody to be turned off if you're not interested in finance or don't think of yourself as a finance person. It's a great read. So, and then, and then we'd love input for what's next. So thank you.
Thanks, Melinda. Thank you to Lindsay and Dan and Will and Jed. If anybody has any questions at this point, you're welcome to chat those in. Any questions about the Instructional Student Golf Society or the VSB Book Club?
Can I add one more comment? I'm sorry.
Sure.
We're going to have Jed and Will are going to distribute the books on campus. If you happen to be learning remotely and you're not on campus, obviously you can pick up the book. If you just let me know, we will do a credit to your Villanova account so that you not paying money that everybody else is not paying. So we will take care of that. So if you are learning remotely, if you just shoot me off an email and you're interested, you'll have to get the book on your own, but you won't have to pay out of pocket for it. So just wanted to let you know that. Thank you.
Great. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any questions. Myself and the leaders of the groups will stay in the Zoom room for a couple of minutes if folks have individual things they want to ask, but if not, let this be the start of a great weekend, and thank you all for taking part in the Business Society Spotlight Series.